If you keep ending up in the kitchen thinking just one more snack but then end up eating way more than you ever wanted, this video is for you. If you feel like you've been doing fine all day, but then nighttime comes and like something switches, and if you ever stood at the fridge thinking, why can't I stop? Why am I doing this over and over again? I want you to hear this. This is not a discipline problem. This is not a willpower problem. That happens not because you are not disciplined enough or you're lazy or you're weak. No, there is actually another reasons and set of reasons behind nighttime overeating. Welcome to my channel. I am a food coach and here I'm talking about overeating, stress eating, food noise, and actually healing your relationship with food without shame, guilt, or starting a new diet. If this sounds like your kind of content, subscribe. So let's talk about why nighttime overeating happens. And the most common mistake that people make thinking about overeating at night is that that's the problem. But actually, this is the consequence of a bigger problem that happened early in the day. And I'll give you 3 reasons why this happens and how to handle it. And reason number 1, you don't eat enough during the day. And this is actually a very common thing. You can be dieting, trying to lose weight or save calories during the day, or you can be not dieting and you don't have enough time to eat. Maybe you have a tiny breakfast. Maybe you don't have breakfast at all and drink just coffee. Maybe your lunch is tiny because you have to work. And that means that in the evening you're gonna be very hungry. And it's just your physical hunger because your body needs energy. So your body needs the energy because it does not care about our weight loss goals or about our schedule. It needs energy for our brain, heart, and all the other functions. And if we did not get enough energy during the day, that means that we're gonna eat at night or in the evening. So, and what actually feels for you like, oh, I totally lost control, usually means you've been underfed for hours before that. And very often people don't realize that they have been underfed for hours because you ate something, right? You had a salad, you had a yogurt, you had coffee, just something, but that's just not enough for your body. Also, very common thing that happens here when people try to restrict carbs. I don't know why in 2026 we still demonize carbs, but if you don't get enough carbs from food, you don't have enough energy. And yeah, you can tell me about how your body can use protein and fats as sources of energy and all the ketosis stuff and everything. Yes, but the primary source of energy for our body is carbs, and let's just not torture ourselves more, put our selves into even more stress than we already have with our jobs, environment, and everything what's going on in the world. Before you start labeling yourself as someone who has no control, ask yourself, did I get enough energy for my body during the day? This is just biology and energy balance. If your answer is yes, then we can go deeper into other reasons and also address them. Okay, so, and reason number 2 is actually you still have food rules. And by food rules, I mean certain beliefs around food. For example, you shouldn't be eating a dessert after dinner, or that all calories after 6 p.m. turn into fat instantly. And food rules create a restriction for us. And restriction is a very tricky thing for our brain. Because once our brain feels this kind of restriction towards any food or any activity, even outside our plate, it instantly goes for this thing that is restricted. The only solution here is to stop restricting. And I know it's hard. I had a lot of food rules because I used to diet for many years. Most of the rules come from dieting, and the longer you actually try to lose weight, the more food rules you have. But that's that's the thing to work on, to start addressing all those food rules and just remove all the restrictions. Also, I'd like to make a small note about all these eating schedules like intermittent fasting or anything like that. As a coach, I'm not against any eating schedules until they work for you. And by work for you, I mean you're not struggling with following it, you're not suffering. I did the intermittent fasting for quite short time myself because it was a torture. It was a literal torture, the worst diet I ever tried. I was hungry whole morning before 12 p.m. I could not eat a breakfast, even though I'm a breakfast person, I love breakfast. So I was suffering. That did not work well for me. And if you're struggling with following that basically means that does not work for you. Let's not put more stress on our bodies. It's already enough, I think, with the environment and our jobs and everything. And reason number 3 is your meals are healthy and not satisfying. And that means that you eat clean, you eat good, you eat really healthy food. I don't know, chicken breast and broccoli for lunch. But your food lacks satisfaction. It lacks taste, textures, temperatures, aromas. Yeah, everything like that. And our brain needs all of this. Yeah, I know it's a bit annoying that we have to please our brain that much, but that's how it works. And if, for example, you had a really boring breakfast and boring lunch, you're gonna crave all those tastes in the evening, even if it's sweets, even if it's chips or anything that intense, because you did not get enough taste and satisfaction earlier in the day. That's also a very common thing. And the mistake that I used to make was to skip any sauces. And I would skip them because it's too much sugar, it's too much salt. But actually, eating small amount of sweet sauce would help you prevent eating a whole chocolate bar in the evening, because you will stop craving this sweet taste, at least to some extent, yes? But that will save you from overeating at night. Okay, so what do I do? Great question. And I want to keep it very practical with 3 steps. Step number 1, that reflects the reason number 1, is actually start eating consistently during the day. That usually means 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and maybe 1 or 2 snacks in between, especially a snack between lunch and dinner if you have a long time period between those two. Some kind of schedule that creates structure for your meals and also helps your body balance the energy. So over time, you will know how much food you need for each of the meals, and your body will be safe. It won't send these aggressive signals, we need food now, sweets, chips, or anything, we are suffering, okay? And the second thing that we need to address is actually challenge our food rules. This one is actually to start writing down your food rules, your thoughts. For example, you look at the cookie and you think, okay, I should not be eating this. This is the rule that you can write down and try to think about it. Try to also think how this rule is working for you. For example, if you say to yourself, you cannot eat that many carbs, that pasta is bad for you, bread is fat for you, just try to think how this rule is working for you. Just the facts, right? If skipping pasta for lunch leads you to overeating sweets at night, maybe that means that this rule doesn't work for you. Maybe with this exercise, you're gonna write it down and just stop following those rules. Stop thinking about those rules that pop up in your head. And the third one that reflects the third reason is actually make your meals more satisfying. Like I said, add sweets to your lunch. Add sauces, add spices, anything you want to make your meal satisfied. It can be Kinder Maxi. It can be Kinder Bueno if you like it. A handful of chips if you love chips, because if you eat it as a normal part of your meal, you won't be overeating that at night. You will be surprised that your brain won't need more if you just allow yourself to eat this and enjoy this during your lunch, dinner, breakfast, or anything. These were the 3 main reasons why overeating at night happens and how to start addressing it. This is not a willpower problem. This is not a discipline problem. There is nothing wrong with you. You don't have a flaw in your personality. So maybe you are under eating. Maybe you eat too healthy, or maybe you still have food rules. Please share your thoughts about this in the comments. I would be very glad to read and reply to them. And if you want more help with this specific issue or with overeating in general, I put everything in the guide. The link to the guide is going to be in the description of the video. It has a lot of reasons for overeating, even more than we discussed in this video, right? Check the link in the description. See you in the next video. Bye bye.